noises for Friday. Friday, it's finally here. We made it to the weekend. Thank God Friday work wasn't too bad. Dang, man. Crazy old week. So guys, how have you been doing? What crazy stuff you got going for the weekend? We'll get into a little bit of mine here for a second. So, the market finished up. Don't tell me, I don't know, guys. SPY finished up 0.5%, but Bitcoin went down big time, and then it kind of staged a rally. If you are still interested, it looks like 115K. It doesn't want to be down that low. Again, though, that's just recently. But the technicals, even the 50 days, like at 112. The 200 is around 100,000. So Bitcoin, granted, something could throw a monkey wrench, but I don't know. I'm hoping it goes back down to 100, but I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to, but we're trying to get in and out of these investments, and we're not putting a lot of money. But guys, I got my stuff parked right now. I got a bunch of cash. But I got a bunch of US. I think I told you guys before. So the 1 month treasuries, and my emergency funds all wrapped into that because I don't want just money just sitting in the bank getting me nothing. So at least Uncle Sam's giving me about 4.5. It's anywhere between 4 and 4.5. It varies from month to month. Gold went down. Silver got hammered. Why? I don't really know. One of my miners exploded up to the upside, 7%. Newmont Mining. They posted their quarterly earnings and they beat the estimates. So, yeah, that's been on a tear here in the last week or so. Man, it's funny. They had a missed earning, and it wasn't even that bad. And it dropped like in November. And near the end of the year, I was considering buying. It was down at like $38. Guess what it is today? $66. But these miners are crazy. Like the price action. So I don't know. I'm tempted to buy it, but this is pretty like a significant high. It still has a pretty good dividend. The other miners that I had, they all kind of gained too. So it's kind of odd that the precious metals lost, but and it's also interesting because the 10-year treasury the yield went down. So precious metals should have had a little bit, but most likely it's the relative strength of the DXY there. So I don't know. I don't really know why silver would have sold that much. And it's kind of weird. It's like silver doesn't know if it's a precious metal or an industrial metal. So, because like in days where the industries do well, right, the overall economy, like silver goes down. It's like, well, okay, you need silver for not necessarily for investing. And then like all of a sudden the dollar goes down and then silver goes down. Again, this is the paper derivative. So, outside of that, I clicked on one of these articles earlier, and again, this is an MSN dumb special, I call them, but I guess Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer reacts to Trump's pardon comments, whatever. I clicked on it to see what was more into there, and I guess like Trump was like, well, I hadn't considered it, but, I could do that. I think that's code. Maybe you guys think I'm reading into that, but Trump speaks in code all the time, and it's kind of a hard code to crack sometimes. But this drama of this list, no list, who's on the list? I don't think Trump's on this list. but it sure looks like he could be on the list because of the way he's acting. But again, this is a bigger strategy, right? Because now the left wants the list, and all the Dems and the communists, they're all on there. So I don't know, they're kind of like, yeah, let's, their hatred for this country and for Donald Trump is so bad, they don't care. They'd rather burn everything to the ground. I don't want to say I'm that way. I don't think not when it comes to America, but every once in a while, right? You get jaded by life, and things are just, everything goes against you, right? And sometimes you're just like, you see things going down, and you're just like, eh. And I always say, like, hey, I'd rather just, but I don't think I can. I think if I'm seeing it burn down, I'm probably going to do something dumb, right? Like, oh, hey, Frank, don't help someone because you'll probably get in trouble. But I probably will anyway, right? I don't know. It's just, it's that thing. It's like a natural reaction, right? You guys know my story, kind of. If you're new here, you'll keep learning here. You're haters, yeah, whatever. You hate my hair, you hate my shirt, you hate my, stop bothering Raymond too, man. Like, what the hell? Come on, haters. Just watch, get a laugh, and then move on with your life. So, other things that. So I'm like, all right, well, it looks like it's gonna rain, so I'm gonna try and do a project inside. So I've been meaning to put these new. I have a utility sink by my washer and dryer, which I guess that's where they're supposed to be. I don't know if they're supposed to be there, like another place. But I just have like, it's like it looks like a $10 faucet, right? It's just like, and it doesn't have like a hose reel. And like when I lived with my parents, like, we had one too, but you could buy this little hose adapter and just screw it on there, right? And you can't find these things anymore. And I'm like, what the? And all the ones they sell, the thing that screws on, it's too big. It's meant for like what do they call those? I don't know. Those little. They look like long studs on the on the faucet, and they mount onto the countertop. So I'm like, well, what the? I couldn't find one. I never took an old garden hose to see if it. But that'd be a little long, right? I guess I could use it in a, right? But, so anyway, I don't know, I think I got it for like $15. Was that not too bad on Amazon, China crap. It came with new stainless steel supply line, so there's that. That's an upgrade from the ones I have. So I started doing that, and then, I'm cleaning all the stuff underneath it, and I'm like, oh, I had a little bit of liquid left in my bleach, so I kind of used that up, and then I had some of this. It's called liquid gold for cabinet, like for wood. So I'm like, oh, there's a little bit left. I'm squirting, I'm cleaning. So I ended up using it all up, but I ended up cleaning all the kitchen cabinets. There's a lot of cabinets. There's a lot of wood, and I cleaned the dining room table, which is not really a dining room table. It looks like more like a bar table because it's like you need the high chairs for that. And then my stairs has wood inlay and a wood rail, so I just used it all up. And I didn't mean to clean it, but it was like another 45 minutes. So now I have the old faucet off, all the supply lines off. But there's only 2 holes in this utility sink, and it's funny, it's a granite countertop, but the utility tub is like just plastic composite junk. So I haven't tried out my newer hole saws. So we got those to try out, right? And then I was wanted to use one of my old Craftsman drills. And last time I used it, it worked. But I thought I was charged, and I put the battery on. It's like, it like barely moves. So I'm going to put it on the charger. I don't know. The battery might be dead. I mean, I bought the thing. Wow, I don't know. It's an 18 volts, an old Craftsman. I think I bought it in like 90. at least 99. It might have been 98, 97. So this thing's old, but yeah, what happens is the batteries. Now, what happens, like, they won't accept a charge, or so it's like, it's charging, but it won't accept it. Some batteries, they call like a little, you jump them. But I think they gotta be relatively new-ish. I mean, this thing's old. Like, I think I had 2 batteries, and then the one battery just, it died, because you put it on the charger thing, it would tell you it's like totally dead. This one's got the red light, and this is like an old charger, so it's not sophisticated charging. So, I don't know. Yeah, I know. But, so I'm not sure what else I'm going to be doing for the rest of the weekend. I don't know what you guys are going to be doing. This looks like a lot of rain this weekend, and it said it was going to rain this evening, late afternoon, and it hasn't, but it's kind of cloudy. So I want to do the other garden hose reel. And, I got to cut, drill through the brick and all that. So I don't want to be halfway through it and it happens. So, well, maybe focus, and I don't want to do too much stuff where I'm like, work. Because that's all I do during the week. So, outside of that, let us see. And who's messaging me? Is that my friend Brian? Yeah, my friend Brian's sending me some cool stuff. I'll take a look at that later. Let's see here. Anything here? What was it? Rethinking Russiagate. Go away. Go away. AOC emerges as a president. You gotta be kidding. If AOC gets elected, it's definitely communism. Jeez, oh Pete. What is this? Political. Trump administration moves to release billions in federal education cash. Oh, okay. So that might have been like funding. That's really noteworthy, Politico. Like, it's just how the system works. It's not like Trump has any control over that portion of it, right? I mean, he can try to help move it along, but some of that stuff is just... So, oh, wait, what happened? I moved my cursor, sorry. Let's see, J.D. Vance. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's sad. A 9-year-old dies at Hershey Park. Whatever. I never heard of Hershey Park. 9-year-old kid. That's... Man, what the hell? What's the world coming to, right? May want to give you a tariff rebate check. Says Trump says he may want to give you a tariff rebate check. What? Hey, man, free money? Free money? Oh, wait, it's not free money. Right, guys? Or at least, I don't know, my haters, you probably think that because, you don't have a job and you just steal other people's stuff, or you go to, you could probably work, but you go to those food pantry places and they run out of food because of your ass. That's meant for the people that are down and out that really need it. And that's the problem with those things. They run out and there's 100 people in line. It's you don't have to show any proof. People in these lines, I mean, for the longest time, they had nicer cars than me. I swear, we gotta fix the system, guys. It literally can't go on this way. And it's almost like, which is going to happen first, right? Are we going to do it out of our own accord, right? We're going to slow the spending down, right? Or are we allowed everything to break, and then we'll be forced to make the cuts? Or both. I don't want both, my lord. I know how Raymond feels, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's going to get that bad, but part of what he says is true, right? If we don't do something about this stuff, I mean, everything is just going to slowly decay. They can cover it up a little bit, but I mean, there's so much know-how that's rapidly disappearing, and AI ain't gonna fix that. It might know, right? Like, here's the knowledge, but if you don't, right? It's like, you can, read a book on, like, brain surgery, right? But doesn't mean you can do the brain surgery, right? Fixing a flat tire is one thing on YouTube, but you might need a little bit, And then, especially, like, I remember people, oh, the robots. It's like, yeah, well, who's gonna fix the robot? Oh, well, another robot. Yeah, well, eventually, right? Something, right? Unless you have like a robot maintenance crew, and you got robot replacement crew, and the replacement of the replacement robot, It's just more money, it's just more materials, right? More energy, more. Sometimes it's better to have humans do some stuff. Yeah, okay. I don't know, guys. I don't see anything else here that I really want to tell you about, because it's just MSN, and I really hate this. I really don't have. I gotta get on here because YouTube had It's like, are you stuck in a corner and it's like a super echo chamber sometime, right? Because it just keeps giving you more of what you look at. What was I going to say? There was something. Oh, there was. Okay, so there was a good. I don't know if I might have it in my history. But it was another one that was like, hey, as a boy, men, like, a lot of women, you grew up and they really didn't like men. They basically hated men, despite, it was actually a really good movie, not to say movie, but a good YouTube thing. It was like it was like under 15 minutes long, I think. I don't know if a lot of you guys here for that or not, but I think it's important that, we remember that we can't, generations of young men and boy were, and I experienced some of this. The millennials did, and Gen Z definitely is experiencing this, which is kind of sad because Gen X should know better. So I'm a little pissed at my own generation for that. It's kind of ironic. I always say the people that should be parents are probably not parents. And sometimes some people that are parents shouldn't be parents, right, guys? But a lot of this is, this communist movement, feminism. But a lot of it also is, a lot of the older men at the time, they kind of just, especially like my dad, they just tried to get through life. And they were, especially my dad, he just, probably a lot of older guys, they just, after a while, you're just like, man, just, can I get a break, right? And you're just trying to do the right thing. And then trying to do the right thing, we didn't stand up for our younger generations. I definitely saw it in my own family, and I still see it, unfortunately. And I see it all over. I see it in neighbor. It pisses me off. And you try to talk about it, but it's real important, guys, because if we don't have strong men, then we're done, right? I mean, that's why if this continues, communism will win, because everyone's got this attitude of, well, why should I do anything? And I kind of hate hearing that stuff, like, hey, this red pill stuff of like, the world doesn't care about me, so I'm just going to turn my back and not do anything. And I understand that sentiment, and maybe sometimes that's justified, and maybe sometimes we need to do that, but choosing that path and staying on that path indefinitely, I don't agree. Because if everyone goes down that route, well, then we lose, right? If the enemy comes in through the gate and you're just standing there going, yeah, sure, go ahead, rape, pillage, kill everyone, yeah, and then they just kill you too, right? So, your country loses because now again, I get it. We're not being appreciated. But again, I don't know, right? It's kind of one of those things of, have men ever been appreciated ever? It's kind of like a question I keep asking myself. I think the answer is no. I just think at times the world needed men more, and it placated to men. I don't know. maybe we should have a whole another video about that. It's not, but I kind of wonder that, guys, men, boys, any male that's listening, I think throughout history, right? I don't think it ever wanted us. I think it tolerated us because the world knows that a strong man, when it has its own volition, its own free will, its own, to do different, right? To, like, especially when you disagree, people are like, right? We need those people that disagree and, whatever. Let them call you the bad name. I'm done with it, man. Because, like, I got all these names called me before I was 13, right? So it's just like, it's almost like one of those things that's like, people think you're a criminal and you're about to go to jail. It's like, well, shit, man, I might as well do the crime, right? But we're not going down that route. But you know what I'm saying, guys? And again, if we go way back, right? From a species perspective, right? We defended our mates and our young, and we still have that, right? That's just, but it's being driven away. All those qualities, even at like the simplistic biological need to propagate the species, is being extinguished, and people are applauding it. And I get it. Raymond talks about it. What was he talking about? Like the nihilist, anti-natalist. I'm not that. No, I don't have all my own children, and I already took care of that. I believe it's reversible, but I'm 51. If somehow I can reverse aging, and hey, 100 is like the new one, or like 20, but I don't know. Life has just thrown me too many things. I don't know. Maybe I am ready, but I don't know. What? There's definitely no women that want to uphold life, right? Most of them just want to kill, murder children, and they are children, right? It's like worse than any Holocaust that you could tell you, right? And it's almost like just that they can't do that, and it doesn't make sense to me, right? Because there's so many ways that you can avoid being a parent. That is only like a last ditch. Like it's not planned or meditated. It's the life, the mother's at stake, things like that, right? Like it's not necessary. That's not called the A word, right? But it's not it's not, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it right now, it's not abortion, it's murder. It's murder. And when society, and again, we let our women believe this because we didn't stop them in the 60s. Probably didn't stop them in the 50s, to be honest with you guys. I'm getting a little winded here. I call them the greatest generation. They won the war and lost the peace. They let their children, unfortunately, and it's not all, right? But they let that baby boomer generation do whatever it wanted. Because they grew up hard, right? They were told they couldn't do this and that. I mean, I get it. As a parent, you want to let your son or daughter do what you couldn't, right? Or enjoy things, but it just went too far. And they didn't protect them against feminism. They protected against the physical threats of the world at that time, which was important. But from the societal standpoint, it was allowed to decay, unfortunately. So hopefully here, like channels like myself and you, because we're all part of this, we all have some responsibility. Even if we didn't create it, we can help. And little simple things every single day. It starts here and it starts here. Right? Even when the world looks down and out, everything's right, keep your mind, keep your heart, and we got backup. We got air support coming, okay? I know I have to remind myself of that as well, right, guys? But anyway, we went a little... Serious Frank came out. But you get everything. I am all things simultaneously. Squirrel mind. You know, we have fun, exhilaration, and near-death experiences on a minute-by-minute basis. It's how life should be. Embrace it, man. Embrace the craziness. What do I call it? Chaotic order. Or is it orderly chaos? Think about those words. All right, we stopped the button. We found the stop button. All right, guys? Yeah, it's a challenge. All right. See you guys. I'll see you, all right? Have a good one. Until tomorrow. Bye.